Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today just thought we'd do a quick sort of mid-month update for February with regards to all the different things that I'm working on at the moment. First of all, just a quick reading recap and update for this month. If you saw my TBR video for February, you'd know what books I'm planning on reading this month. So far I've got through quite a few of them. So I've read Shadow of the Torturer by Gene Wolfe. I've listened to Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill, and I have also listened to Tropical Punch, which is the first Bubbles in Space series by S.C. Jensen. I won't go into reviews of those just yet because I'll do a full video for that later. As regards to what I'm reading right now, I'm still working through Toll the Hounds, the Malzahn book. I'm about 40-ish% way through that one. It's probably going to take me the rest of the month to finish this one up. I've also started, as an addition to my reading for this month, Rendezvous with Rama, which I'm reading alongside with one of my friends who wanted to read it, I believe in anticipation to the potential film that's going to be coming out, or maybe coming out, it's not been confirmed, by Denis V, who did the Dune movie. So I'm working my way through that one. I also started listening to Children of Time on Audible, which is it's sort of a different kind of science fiction, but it's really good. Again, I'll get into more reviews later on, but that's what I'm currently reading at the moment. The Forever War was still on my TBR, which was on my February books to read, but depending how I get through Toll the Hounds, depends if I'll get to that before the end of the month. I'm hoping I will. It's quite short, so I should be able to squeeze it in just towards the end of the month and maybe roll over into March. So with regards to my writing, if you remember, my goal was to try and do 1,000 words per day throughout February. I'm at about 10,000 words, and it being the 18th of February today, that means that there's 8 days in theory that I've missed there. Sort of trying to get into the habit. It's taking a little bit of just routine to sort of get into that, but I've wrote more days than I haven't, although I've not always hit the targets, so that's good. And I think I'm just slowly building up that sort of regularity of writing. With the book, it's a bit different because it's the third book in a trilogy. I wanted to make sure that the first few chapters are almost a recap of the previous books, and just help ground a reader into where they're up to if they've not read them all back to back. So I've taken a little bit of time to make sure that I do that without making it just an info dump and actually sort of work it into the story. I think that's worked quite well with what I've done so far, but it's just taken a little bit slower just to get the ideas down and make sure that everything's running smoothly with that. So that's where I'm up to with the writing. I've also had a few ideas for short stories and things like that I've been noting down separately, which is quite good if there's any time that I'm struggling with the next chapters for the main book, which is Neon Soul. I can maybe jump into working on something on the side as well, just to keep things going. And finally, with regards to publishing, this Monday, so in 3 days' time, it's the opening of the agent-free submissions for Angry Robot. So I've been doing a lot of work on my query and pitch for that, as well as a synopsis of the entire fantasy book that I'm going to be submitting. It's took a while just to boil everything down and get it right. The biggest struggle, I'd say, has been trying to reduce everything down to a very few amount of words, because they want it to be short and to the point. But when you've got 120,000 word novel with a lot going on and trying to distill that down into a couple of sentences for the sort of the main elevator pitch, it is quite difficult, and you always feel like you're maybe not able to tell everything you want to put into it and all the stuff that you think's really good, but you can't squeeze it into those 2 sentences without it going too long, and then there's a chance that it'll get overlooked because it's not quite meeting the guidelines. So that's probably been the biggest struggle with that. I think I'm about there. I'm going to give it the weekend just to go over everything, reread it, grammar check it and all that, make sure it's as good as I think it can be, and then I'll be sending that off, if not on Monday then probably by Tuesday, because I just want to get it sent, and then I can put a pin in it, leave that, I believe from the previous times that they've done these submissions, people can expect to wait 2 to 3 months before they hear anything, either way. So I just want to get it sent, and then I'll just move on to the next thing and wait and see, and hopefully hear something sooner rather than later, but we'll see how that goes. So that's just a quick update for February for all 3 aspects that I usually focus on this channel: reading, writing and publishing. I'd love to hear if you guys have been doing any of those 3 things. If you're a writer, if you've got what are you working on at the moment? What stories have you got? Are you looking at submitting to Angry Robot? If you are, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how your process has been for that. Just a reader and you're here for the books, then just tell me what you've been reading this month. I'd love to get some ideas, and if there's anything that you think has been especially good, then let me know, because I might add it to my TBR to get to in the future. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.